Good morning. It's Liz Rogers. Good morning. This is Liz Rogers sitting in for Leza today. So instead of Leza Live, we have Liza Live. We don't get to do it very often, but at least Liza's willing to share her name with me.
Finally.
I appreciate it.
I mean, it's like she never goes on vacation.
Well, it's not that she just has so many people to pick from that very rarely does Liza Live get to happen.
Well, I like it because you're kicking it off. This is
I'm
a good
ready.
start for the next week. So
Oh, is she gone for a week?
she's gone for a week. Yeah.
Where'd she go? And did she have
California.
permission?
What does she always say? She's on assignment.
Yes, you're on assignment.
Yeah,
She's on assignment,
She's on
I see.
beach assignment.
I see. Well, I hope we get a thorough report when she gets back.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be nice and fun, and yeah.
And probably not under the heat advisory that apparently we're under today.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Southern California is where she's at. So
Well, there's
It's
other problems.
It's a little cooler there, but not by much.
Not too much. Yeah, I'm ready for it to cool off a little bit. Are we going to get any relief soon, Drew?
No, dear. I wish I could tell you that, but, we're looking at a high today at 97, and we're running about 12 degrees higher than we normally do. But, we're looking at 97. Tomorrow the same. A tick cooler on Friday at 92. But the good news is that the heat's going to bring moisture, and that's what we need for the monsoon. So
We do.
we suffer a little bit now, or we have no water later. So.
And suffer more.
And exactly, but you know
Besides,
what?
we
It's
got to
still
have
gonna be
something to
beautiful.
complain about.
Yeah, it's still good. I was telling Steve Blair. I talked to my sister yesterday. It was 116 in Casa Grande at her house. So all of a sudden, 95 yesterday didn't look that bad.
so when is
We are
she
a bit
coming up to
spoiled.
visit?
Oh no, she likes that. Believe it or
likes the
not, she
fire?
likes it. Yeah,
Oh,
she likes hot weather.
pass.
Yeah, no,
Hard
thank
pass.
you. I think after about 110, it's all the same, right?
I stay inside with the air conditioning and iced coffee.
Good dear.
So
Yeah.
that's I'm good there.
Yeah, I'd say 110. It just feels awful.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a wuss. I've been up here for almost 20 years now, so anything over 90, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna die.
I first
Well-
moved to Arizona and I moved to the Phoenix area. I lasted 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
5
Wow.
weeks. Came up here one day to get out of the heat and turned to my now ex-husband and said, well, I don't know about you, but I'm staying. And I did. Moved up here with no job, no place to live, 2 babies under 2, and been here ever since.
That's a great story.
No guts, no glory.
That's right. You got to
Good
take
job.
some risk.
Good
but
job.
Today is June 18th, and we've got some holidays to celebrate today. Now, these gentlemen did not follow through, but apparently June 18th is National Wear Blue Day.
I had no clue. I am wearing blue jeans.
Oh, there we go.
That's
I
close
guess
enough,
that counts. You got jeans on too?
I have blue jeans on. Yep.
All right. See, too hot for blue jeans,
Wait.
I'm
Oh.
on a motorcycle though.
I was gonna say that's why Drew's wearing pants is because he's on the bike.
Gotcha.
Normally he doesn't. He's anti-pants.
Correct.
well, we've also got National Wanna Get Away Day.
That's
Okay.
that's every day. Though.
Yeah,
That's every day.
I'm not sure that needs particular celebration. We've got some food theme days. Barry needs to be on alert here, but today is also Sustainable Gastronomy Day.
That's a lot of big words.
It is a lot of big words. Don't I sound smart?
You do.
Awesome.
But it's because you are smart, Liz.
Well, yes, that too. Plus, I looked it up. So apparently it's to get restaurants to provide sustainable options for food.
Oh.
So it's actually a good thing, but it does sound a little fancier than it probably needs to. And maybe less fancy, but more important, it's National Cherry Tart Day.
Definitely more
Ooh,
important.
now that
And
sounds good.
I'd like to know where Barry's delivery is.
Yeah, we'll see. He'll probably start texting us here in a few minutes.
All right. Cherry tarts, please. It's also International Picnic Day. So we can take the cherry tarts outside. And then we can cover both. And National Panic Day, not to be confused with Picnic Day.
Interesting, they're on the same day.
I thought so too, but my favorite, it's National Splurge Day.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, what would you splurge on?
Food wise or like what?
At all. You're supposed to, it's a day to splurge, to
I'll be like Drew. I'll just get another motorcycle.
another motorcycle. All right.
That
and
is the correct answer.
that
by
is
the
the
way.
correct answer for you as well.
Yes.
Well, see, I'm not working on a bike. I'm working on a house.
Yeah. See, and that's one thing we could talk about.
We could. Yes, my poor desperate realtor dragged me around. No, I dragged him around in 98-degree weather up and down stairs.
But what did I make you do? I made you walk.
That's true. He made me walk up a hill.
Yep.
How
But-
dare you?
I know.
It's okay. Next time I'm just going to do the full service. I'm going to show up. I'll, in the Pilot, you can hop in the back.
Perfect.
Have the AC on. Maybe a
Iced
beverage or
coffee
two.
waiting.
Yep.
Awesome.
And we'll go look at more houses.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are shopping.
So how is it going? Am I a terrible realtor?
No, it's been a lot of fun, actually. I go through the listings every night and see what's wrong with the stuff and why I don't want to live there, and then go, ooh, I really like this one. And then I go look at it and I don't like it anymore. And then I go home and I think about it and go, oh, I really like that, but. And there's always a but.
Yeah. Well, that's typical home shopping in my experiences, even myself. You're going to get about 85 to 95% of the house you want. You're not going to get 100%. But if you can get closer to that 95, the happier you're going to be.
That's fair enough. And I have seen some great places. I'm downsizing. And so then I go home and I look at all my things and go, ugh.
That's one thing that is interesting. It is garage sale season. I mean, I see them everywhere right now, mostly Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, but everywhere. If you need to buy or sell stuff, it's a good time.
That's true.
It's a real good time.
I'm not organized yet, but I did start last night. I actually started tidying and organizing and throwing stuff away. So it was trash night. It was a good time.
I wish you good luck, Liz.
There's we had a gentleman on here, a young man, Johnny Vest, who did the
Blood on the
antique-
Ivories as well, right?
Pardon?
That's Jonathan Best I'm thinking
Yeah,
of.
no, this is Johnny Vest with a V.
Oh,
With a V.
Yeah.
gotcha.
Anyway, he has a antique clothing online store, and I took about a couple hours and went through, and he was like, "Oh, this is great." I'll tell you what. He comes to your house, he goes through your stuff, and hands you cash, and he leaves. So instead of packing it and looking at it, let him do it.
Sounds
Anyway,
good.
very, very nice young
Just
man.
clothes?
Pardon?
Just clothing?
Just antique stuff. He looks for, since you're in the music, anything that has music, T-shirts, concerts,
Gotcha.
unique stuff. And if you have that, he'll come by and check it out. And, he left with a whole mess of what I would consider antique clothes, old Hawaiian shirts with coconut buttons and stuff. He pays for all that stuff, and away you go.
I might be a little insulted that you would think I would have things that would count as antique.
Classic.
Just saying.
True.
Antique is, that's got to be, 50 years or so?
20 is, I think, classic. So anyway.
Besides, we cool kids prefer the term vintage.
Oh, excuse me. That is actually the correct term that he uses. Vintage clothing.
And antique sounds old.
Yeah, he was trying to get my concert shirts. Because,
Oh, I
I have
bet.
a bunch of concert shirts from...
Yeah, I gave him some. He got my sports memorabilia stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, so anyway, it's a way to get rid of your stuff.
That's true.
And
But
this way
only
you
the
don't have to
small
move it.
stuff. I need to get rid of the big stuff.
It all needs to go.
It all needs to go.
I don't know. Or you can just do what I did when I moved. I just moved it.
Yeah, now you're going through it.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not going to deal with this. And I just moved it all, which I don't recommend. It was not fun.
Well, and it wouldn't fit
That's true.
because I'm
In the
going
new
down
place.
about half the size.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for me, it went from a house into a storage shed, and then from the storage shed into the garage.
gotcha.
And now the vehicles just sit outside.
Perfect. So if you want to know where Matt lives, just cruise around until you find all of his vehicles.
All of them sitting out on the curb. Yep.
Well, I did want to share that I thought this was pretty interesting. On June 13th, a fitness group in California broke a Guinness Book of World Record by gathering 1,423 people to play red light, green light.
That's a lot of red lights and green lights.
I hated that game as a child. I was terrible at it. And then, of course, the Netflix series gave it a whole new twist. I'm hoping they went old school for this one.
Wait, hold on. There's that Netflix series on red light, green light.
No, but remember that show? Squid Game.
There you go.
That I couldn't think of the name for a minute, but they play that version of red light, green light, and if you move,
You're no longer with us?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
I
a little
have-
more violent.
I haven't watched Squid Games yet.
You
I've
never
heard
watched
wonderful
Squid
things.
Games? Oh.
Yeah. Too busy watching movies and trying to catch up on movies.
Well, there you go. Well,
I'll get there.
Some weekend.
I have heard it's very, very good.
It is very good and very disturbing.
That's right up my alley.
But yeah, so 1,423 people playing red light, green light in California.
But no one died.
No one died that I know of.
Good.
And actually, on the other side of the coast, we have the opposite of that as far as anybody keeling over. Peter's Clam Bar in Hampstead, Long Island, released a lobster named Lorenzo back into the ocean. He's estimated to be 110 years old. And he's been living in the restaurant through choice or whatever. Nobody picked him to eat. And then he became sort of a restaurant mascot, a restaurant pet. And then on Father's Day, they decided, which was also apparently National Lobster Day, to release him back into the ocean.
Huh. I bet he was. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure if lobster would be as delicious as it's older or not.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that myself. Is it like beef where aged is good?
Right. Or like wine where the aged is.
Doesn't really work that way with lobsters.
See, Drew knows.
That's why we have Drugel.
Yeah, correct.
I worked out of Dover, New Hampshire for 13 years, and literally across the river was Kittery, Maine. And there's a place called Warren's. They actually own the little island, and they have their own things. And the history of lobsters is there. Basically, the bigger the lobster, the tougher the tail's going to be.
Oh.
And it doesn't have to do with age. It has to do with size more than anything else.
Well,
So the
Lorenzo
bigger
was a
it
big
gets-
guy.
Yeah. So, and supposedly you want somewhere between a pound and a pound and a half make the best lobsters for eating.
I just wonder if it's kind of mean to release a 110-pound lobster who's been living in a restaurant. I mean, it seems kind of like...
Yeah, kind of like releasing like animal that's lived in captivity its whole life to the wild.
right.
I mean,
Is he going to know how to
Might
feed
not make
himself?
it.
or-
Right.
So
Well, they're scavengers, so they'll scavenge.
it was supposed to be a positive story, but thanks
It
for
is.
making it dark.
No, it
welcome.
is. I love lobster.
He still sounds delicious to me.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of sad he was never picked to be eaten, I guess.
He's too big. He's too tough.
Yeah,
He's probably
he
too
was a big
expensive.
guy. He was a big guy. But anyway, Lorenzo, we wish you well on your journey if he happens to have ability to watch or listen to KYCA.
I mean, streaming worldwide.
That's true. I don't know. Can you get your little claws to work internet if
Drew,
you're a lobster?
can claws work the internets?
I got to
We
think.
broke
Oh,
him.
no, I'm going
We
to say no.
stumped Drugel.
Drugel says no on that.
Well, we are going to have some entertaining guests this morning. We have Kelly Tolbert, who is going to, I know, I was told to say it that way, Kelly, sorry,
Yeah, you're welcome.
I had nothing to do with it, Kelly.
going to share some upcoming events with us. And then we are going to be joined by David Glasser, who is the director of the upcoming Drink in Hand Shakespeare presentation of Pericles. You know that one?
No, I don't think so. Other than when you've talked about it.
Well, it is a lesser-known Shakespeare play and has some very interesting components. But we'll get into that with David. Coming up as well in this coming week, there is an intensive acting workshop available at Prescott Valley Performing Arts. It's only $40 for teenagers, $60 for adults, and then Thursday night, next week, of course, not tomorrow, they're going to put on a student showcase, and then the following Saturday night will be the professional show with the local improv professionals, otherwise known as Those People. And that's going to be a Saturday night improv battle over at Prescott Valley Performing Arts.
Are you going to be part of that?
I will be hosting the event.
Oh, because I know you love your improv.
I do love my improv. I like to make stuff up.
Yeah.
If I do it right, it sounds like I know what I'm talking about.
You do a very good job.
Well, thank you. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back with Kelly. All right, good morning. We are back on what is normally Leza Live, but today and today only, it is Leza Live. I am your temporary host, Liz Rogers, sitting in for Leza as she is on assignment on the beach in California.
Yep.
All right, we have that official line. And we are joined by Kelly, who's going to tell us everything that's going on this week, except for apparently what's happening at the Elks. She figured I'd cover that. So between us, we got it.
We got it.
All right.
So let's do it. Thursday.
Jump in.
Yeah, we have the Downtown Summer Concert Series. Toucan Eddie is kicking it off Thursday with rock, R&B, and Latin inspired music. So get your chair, get down there, get a good spot. Support our local musicians.
That's such a great concert series,
It
too.
is.
It's a wide variety, lots of stuff to listen to, all the restaurants nearby, and the
Family.
price is right.
That's exactly, you can't beat the price.
Get there early.
That's
Get
true.
there early if you want to be in the shade.
What is early, Matt?
Well, what does this start at 6?
Usually.
I'd get there at least by 5. Yeah.
Plan ahead, get down there,
Yeah,
get your
'cause-
parking spot.
Yeah, because people really fight for the parking spots, and they really fight for the really close, nice, shady spots. And then, everybody else gets to sit on the stairs.
Do
It's
they
just-
allow pop-ups?
No,
Or
I don't think so.
umbrellas?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
It's just like the beach. When you get your spot, everybody comes near you, especially if you're in the shade, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I mean, you're not looking for the shade at the
But
beach, maybe.
I don't go to the beach, so we'll have to ask Leza when she gets back.
That's part of her assignment.
Right.
Excellent. And then Friday at the Elks Theater, we have Southwest Tenors. It starts at 7 o'clock.
It does indeed.
Do you have any more info on that for us?
It's really going to be an interesting show. It's going to feature the sounds of the Southwest musicians, and it's not one particular artist or one particular genre. So it's really going to have something for everybody. It's going to be good.
Everything at the Elks is always excellent, so I feel
That's
like...
true.
Yeah.
For the most part, except for sometimes when we get this Matt comedy guy and,
He'll be here next week, regrettably.
well, and he'll be there soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what is next Thursday, his show?
July 31st.
July.
No, yes, July 31st.
Sweet.
We got some
I don't have to
time.
go for a while. It's okay. He doesn't listen, so we're good.
Is he sleeping?
No, he's probably working.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
We'll give
no.
him a pass.
Yeah, he'll be in next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, from what I understand,
I
hosting
see.
the show. So,
Okay.
Time to figure out how to give him a hard time.
no, I don't need time to do that.
okay.
I got that. I got that figured.
He's probably ready for it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. And then Saturday kicks off the 44th Annual Bluegrass Festival at the Courthouse Plaza. And this is a big attraction for people all over. It starts at 11 on Saturday. It goes on Sunday as well. Another good opportunity to get your shady spot downtown, go early. Tickets are available online along with more information. And then plan ahead if you're avoiding that area because it will be, some street closures and things. So I always like to warn people if they are not wanting to be inconvenienced to do plan ahead for that. And then Sunday at the Hazeltine Theater, I think
It's something.
Hazeltine.
Hazeltine. I always
Hazeltine?
get that wrong because I overthink it. Is Death at Junction Pass, which is a Western murder mystery. And that's on Sunday. More information available online as well. And then Tuesday at the Courthouse Plaza is the Northern Arizona Big Band. So that's the jazz performance on Tuesday, part of that Downtown Summer Concert Series. So get down there early then, too. And
And I'm just going to throw in Saturday night at the Elks is It Won't Come Easy, which is sort of a tribute to the members of the Beatles after the Beatles. So think Paul McCartney and Wings. And so after the Beatles went their separate ways, the musicians and what they did then. And I'm going to jump on as well with the murder mystery. That is not the same murder mystery company. This is Jody Drake's creation. And she originally did this show over at Blaze and M, and this is a fundraiser for the Western Heritage Center this Sunday. I don't think there's a lot of tickets left.
those shows go fast.
Yeah. And the murder mystery is different. If you've been going to the Prescott Mystery Company's murder mysteries, this one's a little bit different. It's a little more of a traditional play. And whereas the murder mysteries at the Elks that we do under the Prescott Mystery Company, you never know what to expect. So
Do you think people just like to go and be a part of a murder? Is that why they're out so fast?
I do.
Okay.
I mean,
I mean, I know you
I
like
consider
it.
myself
You
a
create-
serial killer.
Yeah. I mean, you create the murder inks.
I do.
Yeah.
I do, and creatively so.
Mm-hmm.
But please, I hope nobody ever checks my search history because I do a lot of research, and that could get me in some serious trouble.
Yeah, you need to get a VPN.
Oh, right, fair enough.
Virtual
Well,
private network.
I
yeah.
usually do it over at my friend's house, so I'm on his.
Santos.
No, my writing partner.
Oh, okay.
Ron. So yeah, we use his. So he's the one who's going to have to answer the questions.
Oh, yeah. He's the one that the FBI is really watching right now.
Exactly.
Got it.
Perfect. All
That's
right,
funny.
keep going. We got bars to talk about.
We do. We have Sean Johnson and the Foundation Friday and Saturday at the Birdcage Saloon. And Sunday is Big Daddy D and the Dynamites. We don't hear them performing as much as they used to, so it's a good chance to catch them Sunday at the Birdcage. The Lobby Bar at St. Michael's has their live piano bar, various entertainment, and happy hour specials. Jersey Lily has Hit Squad 17 on Friday and Saturday. Whiskey River Tavern has Copper Spur on Friday with Tony Buckman as well. So they do their upstairs and their patio entertainment, something for everyone, surely. And Saturday is Stephen Rock, Palomino, The Voracious D's, and Trey Friddle. And Sunday is Pearl Ridge. And then don't forget the Windsock Lounge on Friday. We have Tyler Goomersaw. Saturday is Well Dressed Wolves and the Sunday Blues Jam.
What's your favorite bar to go listen to music?
I like the Birdcage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like them all, but I'm not. I notice at the Whiskey River Tavern, a lot of people are up dancing, so that's not really my thing. Kind of just like to get
What?
a table and watch. Yeah.
You're not a dancer,
Not
Kelly?
really. I mean, it's not pretty.
Okay, so you are a dancer.
Maybe.
Just not publicly.
If I have some liquid courage.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I've always loved the Whiskey River Tavern's back patio. It's just beautiful.
It is a lot of fun out there.
I mean, I've been going there since I moved here when it was,
Coyote Joe's.
10 different names.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just
It's changed
something,
a lot.
especially the summertime back there with the misters going and the bar outside and the light. Oh, yeah.
It's
I
a
like
fun
that
vibe
place.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have food too now.
Yeah,
so
they
I've,
do.
Yeah.
Very
Agreed.
good
It's
food.
actually good. Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah. Drew?
I said agreed.
Oh,
What do
okay.
you like there, Drew?
They're I'm going to call them their street tacos. They do a good job with those, and their nachos, that kind of stuff, bar food, wings. That's all I've really had there. But I go there, mainly for the music. And like he says, it's comfortable. It's always nice. So it works.
I've had their burger. They have a very good burger there.
Good to
I haven't
know.
had their burger there.
You're going to have to do it. It's like a Western kind of burger with barbecue sauce and, that kind of stuff. That was the one that I got. It was really good.
Okay.
Good to know. Thanks for sharing.
Always.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to also throw in on Sunday at the Elks Crystal Hall. It is Sundays at the Sundance. This is our quarterly free concert. We charge no cover. We, of course, encourage you to visit the beautiful bartender. But it is a free concert where, I love going to bars and listening to music, but if you want an environment where you want to listen to music and it's not the bar scene, that's what this started with. It's an opportunity for local musicians to present in a room that's a little more elegant. It's not a bar, although there's a bar available, but it's really focused on the music. And like I said, it's completely free. We do ask for reservations because it is a popular place to be, and we want to make sure we can fit in as many people as we can. So that's Sundays at the Sundance at the Crystal Hall at the Elks.
Such a beautiful venue up there you guys have going.
I like it.
It's intimate. It's, I think, a great size, and the quality of entertainment that I've seen there you have is wonderful. So
Well,
thanks for
thanks.
being such an awesome contribution to our community.
I absolutely love it. I tell
Yes.
everybody who'll listen that I have the best job in the world. And my plan is to actually stay there till I keel over there. I have a plan. Yeah.
Well, and then it's a great space for like a celebration of life. So
Exactly. And, there's already a couple ghosts, so I'll have some company.
And then, they could figure out who murdered you.
Exactly. I'm going to try to time it well
Yeah.
so that I'm still fairly fresh for the next murder.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's the
Fairly
plan.
fresh. And just
Well, it just depends.
okay, so no embalming fluid.
Well, it's really hot, so
Yeah, well, there's no guarantee you'll die in the summer though.
this is true. Yeah. No plans for a while,
Okay, good.
but I'm
good.
gonna make it work. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. So much stuff going on. If you are bored in Prescott,
It's because you're boring.
it's because you choose to be. Yes, absolutely. All right, we're going to take another quick break and be back with David Glasser. And we are back on Liz Alive. I am Liz Rogers, sitting in for Leza Chappelle-Dandos, who is on assignment, currently analyzing if people will crowd you at the beach. I think it may have something to do with what she's wearing as well.
No comment.
Okay, then.
No
that was
comment
probably the
whatsoever.
safe choice
Yeah,
because
I'll go with that.
you got to work with her.
Yes.
So, all right. And we are joined now by David and Kristen Glasser. David Glasser, the director of the upcoming Drink in Hand half-wit performance of Pericles.
That is right. That is right.
Pericles is not one of Shakespeare's better-known plays, so why did you guys choose this one?
Because of that, actually, because it's not one of the better-known plays. It's not many people have heard of it. In fact, I haven't read it until I took it on to edit it and direct it. It's fun, though. It's a lot of fun. It's one of the later plays, too, which is, it's an older Shakespeare. We get the common tropes of mistaken identity, lost at sea, and all that other stuff. But also a fun little fact, It's also credited to another author as well. So it's Shakespeare and another writer, and you can kind of see where Shakespeare takes in about Act 3, where all of a sudden it's boom, Shakespeare.
Who's the other author? You knew I'd ask.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Halfwit, I don't know. Halfwit
Nothing.
Shakespeare.
Drew?
Drew
Drew
Gold?
knows
When it
every-
comes to English literature, I'm a zip.
That's twice now we've
I
stumped
plead
him.
the fifth on this one.
Liz, you might not be able to come back.
I might not.
You keep stumping
Lisa
our
will let me
Drew
come
will.
back. Drew will say, no, I'm sorry.
No.
So Halfwit puts on Shakespeare in a different way than a lot of audiences may be familiar with.
Yes. Do you want me to talk about it?
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah. So Halfwit productions are in a bar, typically a bar, like a bar setting, which is very traditional. So you could say that we're like the really traditional people. It is where you go into a bar. It's rowdy. It's messy. It's human. The just lights up. You know, you're not sitting in a dark theater somewhere, just quietly opening your candy wrapper, trying not to make any noise. Like, I'm not here. Don't see me. No, it's where the audience and the play interact. It's where the audience really becomes a complicit bystander in what's happening. It's great when you know what's going to happen. For most of the plays, what's going to happen. There's no spoilers, right? Like, everybody knows what's going to happen at the end of Romeo and Juliet. But at the same time, if you can get an audience member to say, oh, no, don't do that, or something like, oh, wait a minute, that's kind of where we're headed with that.
There is no fourth wall.
There is no fourth wall. And at the same time, it's private. You have the private scenes in public. And so it's a very unique experience. It's free. By the way, did we mention that? It's a free show. Just, go get some drinks. The first one's at Mark's Beer Garden. The second one's going to be at the Raven. And, yeah.
And the audience is not necessarily the only ones with a drink in their hand.
No. Cast members also have a drink in hand. Not all of us. I mean, well, I'll have a drink in hand. I don't drink, though. But, it'll be bubbly water.
So it's an interesting experiment, you might say. There is a tendency for some of the actors to never be the gender that they were assigned.
Okay. You know what? I totally thought that you were going to play it very motherly. Liz is in the show, by the way. And you, I honestly, I thought you were the one who decided to play it as a man.
I've been told I'm not allowed to play a female with Halfwit Productions.
Really?
Yes, I'm always a man.
Well, we like to go traditional, like a lot of gender bending.
That's true.
Just really make sure that if you're going to play the man, really lead with the the man.
Testosterone.
Yes. There we
Okay,
go.
testosterone first.
Thanks.
Except for in this case, I'm quite a gentle advisor as opposed to some of the characters who are a little more naughty.
A little naughty, a little rowdy, a little Shakespearean.
We're going to take a quick break and talk about audience expectations.
Oh.
are back. Good morning. This is Liz Rogers sitting in for Leza, who is on special assignment at the beach. So instead of Leza Live today, we have Liza Live. And I'm sitting with the director of the upcoming Half-Wit production of Pericles, David Glasser, and his personal partner in crime, as opposed to his Pericles partner in crime, Ms. Kristen Glasser. So we are talking all things Half-Wit Shakespeare. So the first show is coming up. It's going to be at Mark's Beer Garden on the 29th at 6-ish.
6:30-ish. I believe there's music right before, so gives time to music to do their thing, and then we come in and do our thing.
So again, unlike a traditional Shakespeare in a theater, our start time always is going to have a little asterisk and the word ish attached to it.
6:30-ish, yeah. Yeah.
And also, unlike traditional theater, we want the audience to catcall and shout and question and be a part of the experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's also great is we try to cast as many people as possible into our shows too, and so we'll get people who aren't very familiar with Shakespeare acting in Shakespeare and might not have the trained voice to really project and get out there. And so audience members, if you hear that, just call them out. What let them know they can't hear you or you can't hear them, so that they can be louder and really get the message across.
I know, having been in a couple of these shows before, that kind of goes both ways. I have invited audience members to be part of the show. As the last one I did, I was getting ready to get married, and so I wanted to see who in the audience wanted to join me and my new bride in the honeymoon.
Wow.
Yes.
So we're going down that road today.
We had a few takers, too, just saying.
So you had a good night.
Well, got some phone numbers.
The more the merrier, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely not a traditional. It's not stuffy. It's not
stuffy, right.
Going to be the Shakespeare you're taught in high school.
Right. No, it's going to be the Shakespeare that you're taught right there, actually. Yeah. I mean, I don't know many other... I've been doing this for 20-something years now, and I don't know... I haven't really been in part of any other productions that are like this.
There is a lot to Shakespeare sort of under the surface that you don't get into when you're forced to study it, but he's pretty raunchy.
Very raunchy.
He's a body style writer, and we, rather than skim over that, we embrace it.
Oh, absolutely. And I love it when the audience calls it out too, when they hear it and they catch on to it, and then they are part of the show now. Right? They're catching on to the jokes as the actors are catching on to the jokes. And because let's look at who Shakespeare really wrote it for, like the Groundlings over there in London, and just really having this crowd that he was trying to keep their attention. And just a bunch of people on the ground drinking and pickpocketing and fighting, and here you are on stage trying to hold their attention. So yeah, it's got to be a little chaotic in body.
I think it's fascinating because when you study Shakespeare, you definitely have that highbrow, he's very elegant, and then you start looking at what he's actually saying, and it's a whole nother storyline.
You're like, whoa, that is a joke right there that I never caught on. Like Romeo and Juliet.
Right.
Romeo and Juliet is a comedy up until the fifth act when everybody dies. It's it's dirty, it's raunchy, it's funny. It's very funny.
A little pedophilia thrown in.
It's just sprinkle. It's not really. It's just sprinkles of stuff.
In Romeo and Juliet, there's a little bit. The guy is, 45? And yeah. Anyway. So there are layers to Shakespeare, and whereas we are not going for the shiny, glossy, highbrow version, we are back down to the original people, the uneducated. Yeah. It's accessible.
It's very accessible. Yeah, very accessible. We lose the Shakespeare voice. We're out there. We're just, saying our lines. Some people yell the lines, but we're saying the lines. We're going on this adventure with Pericles. This is a unique one as well because there's elements of Greek play in here too. So you got Gower, who is the chorus. and he's going to kind of spoon feed you the information as to what's happening next, what just happened. It becomes a little redundant at times, but it's part of the adventure. You know, here's Pericles hopping from island to island to island in the Mediterranean, and he's, you know, looking for love. He finds some nasty things. He runs away. He's running for his life. He finds some more love. He gets a daughter. He loses love. He loses his daughter, right? And she gets kidnapped by pirates, and there's pirates all of a sudden. It's an adventure play.
And she gets attempted to be sold a couple of times. There's a lot going on, but it's like I said, it's not meant to be sit and watch and
Right.
be quiet. It's meant to be loud, and it's meant to be, we always say there will be most likely coarse language and drinking, and that could come from the cast or the audience.
Yeah.
It works both ways, but it will be on the 29th at Mark's Beer Garden.
June 29th, Mark's Beer Garden, 6:30-ish.
Ish. And then July 6th at the Raven.
6-ish.
6-ish. Doors open about half an hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes before.
Yeah, something like that.
Half an hour?
There's usually a line to get seats because the Raven fills up rather quickly. And so people get there about 4:35. And it files in, grab a beer, sit down, enjoy
What's
the show.
going to be interesting is because the Raven is always closed, and then they open for this, and we put on the show, and the audience fills in it. But Mark's Beer Garden will be open and all day, right? And then we're just kind of, so there is no opportunity to wait in line and get
more the
in.
merrier.
You're come early, stay for the music, watch the music,
And then
stay for the Shakespeare.
Stay for the Shakespeare. And let me know that you heard it here so I can talk to you about this because that is awesome. I got to say this real quick. You know, my dad always told me that I had a face for radio, so I really thought that this would make him proud. So I'm hoping this is making him proud.
Do you want to say hi? Because
There's cameras now,
Oh, yeah.
too. Oh,
I
my
told you I
God.
had to wear pants. We did have this conversation that pants were required.
It is a requirement, even though the table hides most of it. It's still, you never know.
So you never know if I have on pants or not.
Apparently, one of our actors lost a pair of pants at our last rehearsal, so that's where this conversation started. We've been searching for the lost pants.
Was he wearing breeches at least?
Well, he started in pants,
You'll have to come and see the show to find out.
but somehow
kinda
along the way,
scared
he
now.
lost his pants. Yes.
That's the kind of it gets wild. It gets wild.
These things happen.
I mean, I'm sensitive, so I don't know if I could handle that.
How do we
Well-
know if you're wearing pants right now, actually?
Good question.
Well, and Drew's in a whole other room, so as far as we know, he's just,
You just
got nothing on.
Just a face over there.
Yeah.
All right, we
A
are going
face
to
and a
take
voice.
another quick break, and then we'll be back to wrap up Leza Live. We are back. I'm a little concerned with the music choice leading us in, but hey, I guess Madonna on a Wednesday, nothing wrong with that.
That was not one of my selections.
Okay.
You know, Lenny Kravitz was, Offspring was, Metallica, stuff like that. Madonna was not my selection. That's Leza's.
There's very few mosh pits at Madonna shows.
I'll start one.
Well, there you go.
That
Yeah.
would be fun.
Matt likes mosh pits. All right, David, you are a professionally trained actor.
Yes.
A little more here, please.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I started my Shakespeare journey started right after Katrina. I was in New Orleans for Katrina, and I got displaced because everything was shut down. I was going to school at Loyola University at the time. Started taking some acting classes then, and went and lived with my friend Benjamin in San Francisco, and who was taking a Shakespeare class at the time. Every night I would come home, and he would have this Shakespeare monologue on. I believe it was Marlon Brando. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't stand this. I don't know what's happening. But then one night, it just like clicked, and I was like, this is the most beautiful thing ever. Oh my God, I love it. So I went back to New Orleans to finish school, started taking as much Shakespeare as I could. I went back to San Francisco, went to the American Conservatory Theater for a little bit, and then was like, I'm kind of old now. I'm past college. This was 20 years ago. And so I'm just going to move down to LA and just submerge myself into it. And got a lot of classical gigs.
And perhaps an odd movie.
It's not that odd. I mean, it's something that almost everybody does, and some people don't admit to doing it. But yes, one of my first gigs out there for the screen is called Manscaping the Movie. It's a mockumentary about male grooming.
All right.
That took Matt a second to digest before jumping back in.
You know, whatever you got to do.
Now, I have not seen the
know?
movie, but I have seen the disc.
My wife loves to show off the movie.
So
She
we
can't
have
even
a
speak right
famous
now.
actor sitting here.
I get on all fours and do some waxing.
All right, then.
I'm going infamous here.
Yep, that's not. We're going to keep this nice and family friendly. Just say that you have a film out there, and if they're interested, they can contact Kristen, and she'll be happy to arrange a
she'll
showing.
be happy to sit down and do a screening with you.
So we talking about the half-wit production of Pericles on the 29th of June at Mark's Beer Garden, 6:30ish.
Mm-hmm.
Do they need tickets?
No, just show up.
This is a free show provided to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we thank the vendors, the venues that allow us to put this on and entertain. So we would encourage a visit to the bar to support them.
Tip the bartenders, tip the staff, tip the actors at the end. So we want to get the actors. We want to tip the actors.
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
A little bit here, a little bit there helps. And then on the 6th at the Raven for the second performance, perhaps an encore a couple months down the road.
Perhaps
Still
an encore,
thinking about that.
If we
and
can
then,
get the cast together, and any bar owners out there want to dip their toe into some Shakespeare.
And then Halfwit has been doing this now for 6 years.
Something like that.
Somewhere in that neighborhood, a couple times a year.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that for the next one.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for being here,
thank you,
David. And a
guys. Thank
quick
you.
little reminder of all the great performing arts opportunities going on this weekend that Kelly talked about, as well as the one I mentioned, the opportunity to take an improv and acting class with another professional actor, Matt Condi, over at Prescott Valley Performing Arts, and go to the student show next Thursday and the professional show next Saturday at Prescott Valley Performing Arts called Those People, which is an improv battle. And it will be improv team against improv team.
That sounds awesome.
It should be. So we're looking forward to it. Thank you, as always, to Drew and Matt for putting up with Liz Alive today. And they can call in if they've got questions about anything we talked about. We won't be here, but somebody will answer, right?
Sure, why not?
All right.
I'm sure someone's here.
Someone's got to be here.
Yeah, I mean, Drew's here usually all day. So.
Well, perfect. And if you've got any questions about anything over at the Elks, call me over there at 928-756-2844. Have a wonderful day. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and try to avoid the heat.
Lots of heat.
Lots of heat for the next couple days.
Hide in the shade.
Perfect. Have a great day.